Good morning. Happy Thursday. So, many changes in the last few months, right? For many. And I find part of my job as a health coach, is to share my own experiences. And so it's amazing to me, the people that I have around me that share their experiences, and we all learn from each other. I am really honored and thankful to hear back from so many people who are making small changes in their lives. With the crazy changes that we've had, I think back as before I press the start button on here, I'm thinking 4 months COVID, 2 months my husband asked for a divorce, month and a half I got my kittens who are running around over here. Like, life continues on, and it really is about how we handle it. And some days are easier than others, some days are not, but we wake up, we do it again, we have another chance. It's not, I have a new client who texted me yesterday, and she said she was sitting at a water park, and she looked over and saw a woman who was a bit older than her with a six-pack, and it hit her, just like it hit me years ago, that like, wait a minute, I could do this. I just got to figure out how to do it. I got to learn how to do this. And doesn't come from, a supplement. It doesn't come from a shake that you can purchase or a protein bar. It comes from knowledge and knowing the food that we eat and going simple, So for me, to have the opportunity to teach others what I have learned, is one of my missions. Each day in the last few weeks, I've read my missions and vision. I wrote it probably about a year ago. Like, what is it that I want to try to get across to people, And one, it's the food, right? It's the food that's making people sick and unhealthy. And when we know about it, you can make different choices. You vote with your wallet. It's a better day. You feel better. Your health gets better, and you live a longer, happier life. It's the food. It's the experience, right? It's actually seeing it happen. I often have health coaches who contact me, and they're selling product or they're selling something. And they'll say to me, well, you'd be a great, person to do this. And realistically, I didn't do it that way. I did it a whole different way. I did it by shunning all that stuff off and saying, wait a minute, what's a banana and what can it do for me, and why is organic a little bit better than anything else at the moment? And you could debate it all you want, but from what I see with my clients, when you make that switch, you eat less and you feel better. And that's like, to me, food is medicine, or it's going to make you sick. So that little bit more that you spend sometimes actually helps you in the long run, in my opinion. That's how I see it. So, one of the things that I think we all need to really consider and think about, and again, it's another hard thing to think about, right, is mindset. This morning, one of my clients, who's usually so hard on herself, wrote like this amazing on her journal. So I have some clients who write to me each day their goals, and just kind of like a refresher, reminder, this is what I'm doing, and I do the same thing myself. And at the very bottom, it was 1% better. Each day I got this, and you realize it is that mindset. It is that standing at a water park, looking over and going, I can do that. Now I know I can do that, right? And for me, it was years ago in an airport, standing there going, that older woman over there, I want to figure out how she's like that. For me, that was important because at 40, I was not feeling 40. I was feeling sick and tired and in pain all the time. And just realizing to simplify my life and find, workout became routine, but it was a piece of it. It was 80% of the food and changing things around. It was changing the mindset of eating 3 or 4 meals a day because Taco Bell and everybody says you need to eat all the time. To stop and go, look at this. When I actually reduce my food in a certain way, right, I lose a lot of weight and I get lean up. And I don't even need that protein shake that somebody's trying to sell me. So when you realize it's really kind of something you should learn about, right? One of my clients is, I have my youngest client, she's going back to college or whatever that looks like soon enough. And, you realize that if somebody at 18 can figure some of this out, they'll just be healthier for it, bring it to their families. And I see it all the time. My clients change their food at their kitchen tables for their family. At the next gathering, somebody goes, what are you doing? Because they are leaning up, their bodies are changing, just because they're correcting the food and they're eating in a certain time. So it can be that simple. The one thing that I want to say, and I see some plant-basers on here, wheat. Wheat, I know, vegetarians and many plant-based people like wheat. But what I find and what I've learned is, of course I would try to go for organic wheat if you're going to eat wheat, right? Do I eat wheat every once in a while? Yes. But when I do, I feel it. And I feel it right away. I feel it like the next day. I feel it in my joints and all that. And that's my point. Is one thing that I learned about wheat, and I'm going to put I'll look to see if I can find the exact one, but Mark Hyman is huge when it comes down to food. And, I actually came across him in many of the documentaries that I was listening to, and then I found him on YouTube. And all of a sudden, at one point where I'm learning maybe gluten is a bad idea years ago, and GMOs and all that other stuff, that it actually in our 40s, as our hormones are changing, it actually makes our fat cells fatter. Wait a minute. I mean, mutant wheat, GMO wheat that's made in a lab, right? That we're all eating because it's in all our cakes and our pizza and our pasta and our processed food, all the other processed food. GMO wheat makes our fat cells fatter, even if that's not 100%. I looked around at 40-something-year-olds, and you could see the tire, right? So to me, when I stopped eating wheat, I didn't have celiac or a sensitivity to wheat. But when I did stop eating wheat, it actually, I had less pain because of it. And I think I shrunk because of it, for sure. And here's the thing is, where you can go wrong when you stop eating wheat is when you replace it with gluten-free options, right? So, the whole idea is you don't need the bun, or even if you're not eating meat, there's certain things you just don't need. Don't replace it with something else because it's just the same crap in a different package, really. It's just processed food. But, so wheat has been something that I've spoken to a lot of my clients about in the last week or two, and even, some friends about it also, because you don't even think that you are eating it, but it's everywhere, and it turns into sugar. Not only that, if the theory is GMO wheat and soy and corn and all this stuff, it could be made in a lab, and that's where that stuff is. The seed is designed, and then it gets planted, so it protects the bugs, it does all these crazy things, and then we eat it. And then if you ever look forget like what it does to my kittens are jumping around. Seriously, hysterical. My point was, if you ever look at lab rats in a lot of these documentaries, and of course, you could take whatever you want to take from it, right? You could stop a test 3 months, or you could let it run a little bit longer, and woo, all of a sudden there's some other results. Surprise, surprise, right? So, like it or not, it was something for me that I made a decision. I voted with my wallet. I voted for my health. And when I made that change, it was huge. And then when I tell other people to try it, it's huge. So that's why I'm here saying to you that even if you don't cut it out of your life, if you consider it more as a treat and just not daily, because I know there's a point where it was like waffles for breakfast, sandwich for lunch, dinner pasta, right? I mean, how many people really do that still? So now every once in a while, once a week, I get to have my special treat, and enjoy it that much more. To me, that's just makes more sense. And here's the thing, after I have that, I feel it. So you have to sometimes be like, maybe it's not worth it, So those are some things for you to think about today. And I hope that you have a great Thursday. I really do believe, in the world that we are living in right now, we can either repeat or evolve. And I feel that it's my responsibility to continue to evolve and just keep learning. And as I do, it changes my world. And sharing some of that with you hopefully can change your world a bit too. So I hope you have a great day. Enjoy.